Good evening, everybody. Jeep has risen the dead, as is tradition. The Grand Wagoneer is returning to us back from 1991, back to life just in time to catch the wave of retro SUV goodness with the downward wave from the Blazer and the upward trend of the new Bronco. I'm Steve, joined by Craig tonight, and this is another short shift. So, tonight we're talking about the 2021 Jeep Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, coming back to us for some of an older crowd, myself included, remember the original Grand Wagoneer in all of its wood-trimmed glory from the early 90s. It was actually a holdover from AMC before AMC bought Chrysler. Chrysler bought AMC. This was chassis code was SJ for the original, but it was the big burly Americana SUV from the genesis of SUVs back when they were, glorious V8 full framed stomping wagons that could carry 2.5 kids with a family dog up the side of a mountain if necessary. And also do all of this while getting a sweet 11 miles to the gallon. Not that anyone cared.
Not back then.
Not even a little. So that said, I am, if not apparent from our intro here, I'm a big fan of the SJ and really all of the original Wagoneers and a lot of the AMC Jeeps in general from back in the day because they had a real purity of purpose to me. They were a tool built to accomplish a task, and they're good at it. And I can respect that. Even if it's not something that I'm personally into, I can totally respect, purpose-built design. The new Wagoneer, on the other hand, well, there's a lot of questions here.
It's a touted up Durango.
That's question number one. So for anybody unaware, I'm also a big fan of the first two generations of Durangos. Even though they're ugly, I said it, they're ugly. They are also very good at what they do, purposeful, even. But the current generation of Durango is... I don't even know what to describe the current generation of Durango as.
Excessive.
I mean, no, that's not the word I would go for. It's it's unibody. It's closer related to the Charger really than the Durangos of yore, with their full frame 3/4 ton running geared, good beefy goodness. The new one's more mommy vanish and actually closer related to the Charger, I think. But that's neither here nor there. Not about the Durango. We're about the Wagoneer tonight. Reports have it that the pricing of the new base Wagoneer is going to start in the 60s, and the Grand Wagoneer is going to be in the 75, with options going over $100,000. Just want to say that again in case somebody missed it. $100,000 Jeep.
Yeah, that's a $100,000 domestic vehicle that doesn't carry the name of Cadillac or Lincoln on the side.
Yep.
And it doesn't tow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have bouncy suspension, as Johnny Lieberman would say. So what does it do?
Yep.
Yep. I think this is kind of like if everyone's seen the Rick and Morty, when he makes that little butter passing robot, the robot finally becomes self-aware and asks his purpose in life, then realizes that he has no purpose other than to pass butter and goes, "Oh my God." I think honestly, Chrysler is dying and they're trying to hedge their bets off of the Jeep nameplate, namely the Wagoneer fan crowd, to draw up some sales. But unlike the Bronco crowd, who actually got a legit Bronco back, the Wagoneer crowd is going to be massively upset. And this is only going to bolster the sales of the original Wagoneer. We're seeing original Wagoneers go for more than $100,000, and they also do not have bouncy suspension and tow a whole lot. But oh my!
So we've seen this in recent, right? We have talked about the new Bronco, and we've also talked about the new Blazer. So we've seen this retro SUV thing go really poorly for one company and really well for another. I I'm hesitant. I don't think this is going to go as badly as the Blazer because that went over really poorly. But I don't think it's going to go over well either. That said, I could be way off base here, and people are just going to love it. I don't know. I said the same thing about the current Durango, and that's been selling great. So we'll see what happens. In good news, Jeep says the Wagoneer is going to have a frame. It'll be body on frame based on the Ram chassis. So that's good. It's also going to have an independent rear suspension. That's debatably good.
It's not off roady. That's not off roady.
Yeah. Eh. Yeah, I'm not going to call that either way, as good or bad.
Uh, it,
Um, yeah.
oh,
What it is going to have that's going to be, I'll go ahead and say is bad,
mhm.
is the V6 with the mild hybrid system from the Ram, the e-torque system. That's bad.
Yeah.
And the 3-liter diesel V6 from the Ram Echo Diesel. That's also bad.
With how much vehicle that the Grand Wagoneer is going to be, or the Wagoneer is, that's not enough engine.
I would concur. And they're going to have the 5.7-liter base Hemi, which is good.
It is, but also, where's the bigger engine? I'm spending $100,000. I need some scat back power.
Right? I'm just saying, hang on, I'm going to pull this up real quick. I'm pretty sure a Durango SRT is going to do all of those things for $62,000.
Yeah,
Just want to throw that out here. And I could even get that it doesn't have more power than the Durango SRT if it had some sort of off-road credentials. But looking at the imagery of it, I'm just not seeing it, man. It's on
it,
like 20s, maybe 22s.
look at the interior.
Obviously, street rubber.
It's not a true Jeep product. This is a Chrysler product that they're putting a Jeep nameplate on and trying to sell it to people. Like, this
Would
is my
agree.
issue, right? It looks like it's trying to go up above like even the Land Rover or Land Cruiser, I should say, and target itself among like the G wagons and the Land Rover brand, right?
Right.
But it's marketed in the U.S. and vehicles like that typically don't do well. And not only that, but at the price point, why wouldn't you just buy a Land Cruiser? It's Toyota reliability, Toyota basicness, and Toyota actually does do off-roady goodness with it. And by the way, it still holds 8 people. It's it's almost as if this is aimed along the likes of the new Escalade, what SEXT, and the Lincoln. If God bless Lincoln, if Lincoln even is making vehicles anymore, that should probably be another podcast that we'll bring up later on. Is who has anyone seen Lincoln?
Quick shout out. They died recently, or I don't know if they died, but it seems that way. But the recent Lincoln Continental was an amazing looking sedan,
And
and I don't
nobody
know what happened to Lincoln after that.
and nobody heard from them since. Yeah,
Yeah, they finally made something cool and then fell off the face of the planet. So that's
yeah.
unfortunate.
No, it's still around. Here's the Lincoln Navigator, 2020 Lincoln Navigator starting at 78. But here's the thing: you expect the Navigator to be the 24-inch wheel. I've got diamond encrusted shift knob, like ultra luxe vehicle. You expect the Lincoln, especially the Navigator, to be that, not a
Yeah,
Jeep. And I think this is where the biggest change in demographic is that unless Dodge goes crazy and decides to put like a Hellcat motor in the Wagoneer, this thing is going to be a big miss based on principle.
I would agree. I'm just not seeing it. If it's more luxurious than the SRT Durango, I mean, I guess that's cool, but I don't think this was the right brand choice. Um, there was for several years alongside the Durango a Chrysler Aspen that was supposed to be the upmarket Durango, and that sold really terribly and wound up tanking because
Yeah.
turns out nobody wanted an upmarket Durango,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're about to see that again.
And this very much might be the response to the fact that Dodge doesn't sell the Journey anymore and doesn't have a minivan anymore. and so they moved the Durango down to basically a mom wagon with a V8 potentially, and so now they needed something to fill in the higher Lux market. And like I said, sticking faux wooden vinyl on the side and calling it a Wagoneer, I really don't know. You might have three people from Nantucket who buy it, but I really don't know. And what's to stop me from buying a G wagon at this price?
That would be my argument as well. At this price point, there's a lot of really capable SUVs that are like proven off road capable, and I don't know that this is it. I really don't. I'm also curious. It says they will all be all wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know what kind of all wheel drive system. Nothing's been released yet, other than there's going to be an all wheel drive system of some sort. The original and really all of the AMCs from back in that era had some really impressive all wheel drive capabilities and proper four wheel
Yep.
drive. I'm not as confident on this. What I'm predicting is going to be an all wheel drive setup that is a pavement based system. Uh, Rear wheel drive with an all wheel drive or a front assist clutch pack or viscous setup, possibly. That's really intended as a on road snow and bad weather kind of system, as opposed to a proper off road system.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna it's I think it's literally Chrysler taking a stab at the Lux market. They already have the Grand Cherokee and Cherokee, so now they're just gonna go up with the Wagoneer and try to make that a thing. I just don't think it hits the mark, and I don't think it enters anything new into the market that already exists in the Lux SUVs. I think it's just Chrysler
No,
trying to weasel their way in.
no, for sure. Um, Also, I'm still in flabbergasted at $100,000 Jeep.
Yeah, I mean
Like
you shouldn't be too impressed because wasn't it 2 years ago where you can order an F-150 with the right packages and get it up over $100,000?
an F-150, I would be shocked. A
Sorry,
250 or 350, I could see.
yeah, I think it was a 350 like King of the Ranch like edition. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
350 King Ranch or something. Yeah, I could see that.
Of course, also the
But that
people
is
buying that would be ranchers.
well. The thing is, right? Sure, that's an expensive rig, but it is a ridiculous Lux rig that can also pull like 30,000 pounds.
Yeah,
Like once
it
again,
definitely.
it's got a purpose in the world, and
Yeah,
its purpose is to pull heavy shit.
yeah. It has the ground clearance and the reliability to tug, a 4-horse trailer or a lot of cows.
Yeah, while swaddling your ass in air conditioned seats the entire time.
Right. Because while we're farmers, we don't have to be poor farmers.
Right. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with those kind of trucks either, but I can understand the purpose for their existence.
Hmm.
I just don't get it, man. I don't know who they're aiming at, but I don't think it's going to go well.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, everybody out there, let us know what your thoughts are on the new Wagoneer. Is it going to be closer to the Bronco and a retro swing and a hit, or is it going to be the Blazer, where everyone just turns and laughs and goes WTF? Uh,
And
Take us out, Craig.
absolutely. And for those of us who want to join in this discussion, we have a Facebook page called the Broken Axle Podcast. And more likely, you're finding us on YouTube. So, in which case, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely give us some feedback here because I want to hear all your opinions on it. Maybe we crush some diehard Jeep fans' dreams and aspirations of the next wooden side vehicle. You can find me over on Instagram at Nomadic Wheelman, same as Facebook, and you can find Steven as well at Can't Drive 55, just Can't Drive 55, correction. And for the rest of you guys out there, go ahead and hit some junkyards and bust some knuckles. I'll be seeing you.